Hi everyone, welcome back to my show, Awareness Hub, one place where you'll get updates and awareness about all the things that are happening in the world right now, right from content creation to Web3 to AI, you name it, you are gonna get all the updates which are gonna make you smarter. And I'm gonna do this by bringing in a lot of guests who are expert in their field, who are gonna share their expertise and knowledge, which is gonna be really, really valuable for you. So coming back to our session, this particular session is so good that it is going to help all the newbie freelancers. So when you start out your journey as a freelancer, did you ever feel that your insecurities are being targeted? Or did you ever feel that you're not good enough or you don't have the particular skill when you look at all the numbers that are being thrown at your social media or no social media platforms? Or did you ever feel that people, the so-called freelance coaches, are trying to sell you their courses by targeting your insecurities? Well, don't worry, everybody has been in that place. Even I was being in that place. But the biggest problem is that it is not because of your skills or talent. It is completely because of your insecurities. Literally, people are using your insecurity as their weapon to earn profits by selling their courses. So if you're someone who's struggling to come out of that, then this session is going to be really valuable. It is going to be really an eye-opening session for all the newbie freelancers, because in this session I have Vaibhav with me. He's a very good Web3 content strategist for all the Web3 big companies. But the best part about Vaibhav is that he started standing against all those people who are trying to target insecurities. He literally speaks about all the truth that are present in this particular freelancing industry. The even more best part is that his posts are being criticized. His posts are being banned from this particular platform, which is on LinkedIn. People are trying to bring him down, but in spite of that, he wants to tell the truth. And even he start even in order to prove his point, he actually bought his course. He actually or created his own course, which is completely free. And it is like so good. People are saying that it is like very good, and without any marketing, there are like 350 plus enrollments now. I think it's been even more, but without any promotion or without any branding marketing, people have joined this course, and everybody are giving a lot of very good update about that particular course. And it's not a shout out, or like I'm not trying to promote. It's because like I'm like speaking so much about Vaibhav is that because he speaks the truth, and I want to share that truth with you all. This particular session may be like really bad for all these freelance coaches. Again, like I don't mean to say that all the freelance coaches are bad, but what I mean to say that there are people who are trying to sell you shit in the name of freelance coaches by targeting your insecurities, by targeting your mindset. So this is going to be really valuable. I'm like super pumped. I'm going to extract as much knowledge as possible from Vaibhav and give it to you people, and make sure that you listen to this episode till the end, so that you will understand the real truth about freelancing and how you can make money as a beginner freelancer. So without further ado, let's get him on the show. So yes, Vaibhav, thank you so much. First of all, it's a great pleasure to have you in my show. Thanks for accepting my invitation and to being on my show. So like, how do you feel to be on my show?
Hi Anish, yeah, thank you so much for inviting me to your podcast. I was really looking forward to it. I've been seeing a few of yours
Mhm.
when you started. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm pretty excited for it, and let us see how this thing whole things
Yeah.
rolls out.
And yeah, by the way, actually, when I thought like I wanted to get into
Yeah.
this podcast, like what I used to do is like, in order to bring this guest, like firstly, I didn't check like anywhere else. Like since I'm like completely active
Mm-hmm.
on LinkedIn, I used to like completely check on my LinkedIn and see like how people are creating content, like how are they trying to help their community, help their audience. And that is how I think it was like 3 to 4 months back that I came across one of your posts that was like mind blowing. We'll get to that post, like what is it all about, in the later session. I mean, like later. But
Mm-hmm.
now, after that, I thought like Vaibhav has
Sure.
chose like something different. It's like he's trying to provide value, meaning he's not only trying to provide value by throwing some nonsense stuff, like I'm just so sorry for my audience if I'm speaking some this nonsense kind of words and all. But what am I trying to tell is like he's trying to provide value by telling the truth. I mean, by telling the truth. It's not trying to sell something. Okay, like that's what like I observed about Vaibhav. And from that and from that point onwards, I was thinking like, once when I start my podcast, is that like completely I have to bring him onto my show. Then I thought like, okay, let me just take few, do a few podcasts, and then I thought I'll bring him to my show. Now I'm like happy that finally I'm going to make this, true, that we're gonna record the session and give it to the audience.
No, you have got some real balls too, because not everybody wants to get on a call with a person who is speaking out blatant truth and nothing except the
Exactly.
truth. And you know, uh, a lot of shit that I say makes sense, but to some people they don't want actually to consume sense stuff.
True, true,
They
true,
just
true.
want the fluff. So I
Exactly.
really appreciate you inviting me on this podcast, and let us hope we can bring a change.
Exactly.
At least we
Thank
can
you.
tell people what they were missing so
True.
far.
So true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just get going. Okay. So the first question would
Yeah.
be that, when the real reason that, as I told you, that why I wanted to interview is that you are like starting telling the truth, in the sense you are a Web3 content writer and you are into, you are a freelancer and your niche is like Web3, complete Web3.
Right.
So like when I started, there's like one post, like I couldn't remember exactly what was that post,
Yeah.
but that post was that,
Complete Web3.
it started telling the truth about freelancing, is that you started bringing, you
Mm-hmm.
started shedding lights on like what reality, what is the reality of freelancing. Okay. So like my question here is that, like,
Right.
what is your like, why did you think that you have to stand against all these freelance coaches who are trying to, sell their course by trying to, give their fee, by trying to give their headlines as like, last week I just did like, 6-figure income for my client. If you if you join my course, like, even you can do that, even you can earn like 6 figures just
Mm-hmm.
in 1 month or something. So like, may I know, like, understand, like, what is that main thing that that you thought that you should stand against these people?
Like, see, I belong to a completely different breed of freelancers. So I was not even active on LinkedIn. Like, I just started posting content, I guess, in late December of 2021.
Okay.
I guess it was. It has been almost a year only that I started creating content. And the reason was like I just stumbled upon LinkedIn and I just saw a few posts and I was like, man, this is not how shit is done.
Mhm.
These guys are not telling you the truth. Now, you said that like why I stood up for these course sellers who were selling their courses. See, I don't have a problem with selling courses. I have a problem with the way you are doing it. So
Got it.
you are telling complete newbies that you can earn crores and lakhs within a short span of time. Like that is not possible at all. That is not the
Mhm.
truth.
Okay.
It takes time. What they are doing is they are just selling you this false. They are selling you false hopes. They are targeting your insecurities. My all like it is one of my content pillars that I talk about the psychological aspect of a freelancer. What they are doing is they are playing psychological games and they are getting people into believing stuff that they want. They are pushing narratives and they want everyone to believe in those narratives. And I don't believe in those narratives because that's not how shit is done. So when you say that I earned 6 figure for like I did in revenue for my client, show us the goddamn proofs. If you show us you have our respect, we know you are a person of integrity. They don't tell you anything. Who gives the proofs? Like the ones who did, they are actually real. That there is no harm in it. But when you are just saying crores, lakhs in every second post of yours, and then you have a course that promises to deliver the same results to your students, we have got a problem. And I got a problem with that thing really because see, the main force that drives me to do this is that there are a lot of people, college going students I've had a word with, and it feels bad that they invested such a huge sum in a shitty course that is already available for free. That's why I launched my own course that is for free and it's better than every alternative that's in the market.
I get it, Vaibhav. Actually, like, as you said, you don't have problem when all these freelance coaches start selling their course. When they start selling, all this, all their experience and
Hmm.
expertise. Of course, they can do that, but the problem is the way they are doing it. Because at the end of the day, we have come to a realization that these are all just dreams. So they're just trying to sell dreams. It's not true. Of course, it's
Yeah.
possible that as a freelancers we can earn 6 figures, we can earn 7 figures. That's not an issue. But the problem is that it is not just as easy as these freelance coaches claim it to be. So in that case, I think people have to start understanding that.
Yeah.
Next, I just wanted to kind of understand this one thing, because you see, uh, all these people, like, even though they're selling a lot of shit in the name of courses, like, people are enrolling, and they're getting a lot of enrollments for their courses. So like, what do you think is the number one leverage for all these freelance coaches when it comes to start selling their courses? Like, what do you think is the number one leverage? It is just insecurities, or it is just combination of insecurities, or like money and things like that? Like, what do you think is the number one leverage that all these freelance coaches have when it comes to start selling their courses?
You see, it is their power is that people don't know how to use their mind. That is their power. And I'm telling people to use their mind. So that's why they're afraid of me. And a lot of instances I've provided proofs that they are afraid of me. Until now they are mass reporting me, but I guess that thing is no longer valid because I've sorted it out. But that is the only thing. If you are a college student, all you need to hear is that invest this much money, you will earn this much money, you will fulfill your parents' dreams, you will be able to give them something. Once you say this shit, automatically a college student, he doesn't have that much brain. He's just, he came out of his school life. He was in the shadow of his parent the whole life, and now when he's coming to the real world, you're getting exposed to this shit. That's their power.
So yes. So actually, at the start you have mentioned that you have talked to a lot of college students, and it's actually like very sad that these people are getting affected the most. It's because by listening to all these freelance coaches, they have taken the courses, they have invested a lot of money, but at the end of the day, they are not getting this desired result. So in that context, like what why do you think this actually freelance coaches are targeting these college students? Like why do you think is the prime target is actually all these college students? Like what is the main reason for this?
See, the problem is that college students, they can be molded in any way. So they are molded in the way they consume the content. That's why I keep on saying that please have a look at your feeds, what kind of people and what kind of content you are consuming, because you subconsciously take it in your head, and that's how you become, and that's how your whole journey then starts going on. Now the people who follow me, they are fucking soldiers. Like I say this thing with pride. The people who follow me, they know the truth. They know how to stand up, and they know how shit is done. The ones who follow them, they are softies. You tell them something which they don't believe in, and they will be all over you. So they are sheeps. The ones with me, we are fucking predators.
So like having said all these things, having talking a lot about all these freelance coaches and the way they're trying to sell these courses. Now I just wanted to kind of understand that like what was your real experience? Because like
Yeah.
when you start like generally like not only you, like when people started when people start kind of pointing out the truth, obviously there'll be a lot of other people who kind of try to
Mhm.
put those people down.
Right.
And obviously in your case, like you have started standing against a lot of people who are actually like very big in their industry. I mean, like they have a lot of following, they're like so famous, they have a lot of mass following in all social media platforms. So obviously you would have a lot of problems, right? You would have faced a lot of
Yeah,
criticisms. Like
there's a
what
problem.
was your experience like when you started standing against all these freelance coaches? Like how did you how was you being able to handle it? Like how did you come out of it?
See, I told you, I belong to a completely different breed of freelancers. The ones I hang out with, we earn money, we enjoy life, we sit together, we have our meetings and all that shit, and we do things in a completely different way. I have given proofs that I am working with multi-million dollar businesses. So when you work with that class, you already have a complete different mindset, and you are of a different mentality. So personally, for me, it like whatever they did, it wasn't unexpected to me. We are in business, so we know that your competitor is going to do every other shit to bring you down, and that's fine. That's a part of the game. The shit that only bothered me was that people were actually too naive to understand that they are getting trapped in real time, and they were completely unaware of it. So when a person like me pops up, a post of mine went viral, and all that shit started after that. So that actually, opened some pores in people's brain that, yeah, this is exactly what we have been thinking, but only one person has been able to put it out so boldly. And that's when a complete wave of resistance started. It was back in August, I guess, in 2022. So the experience so far is pretty good.
Now I get it. I mean, like as you said, you belong to a different breed of freelancers, and that's how you've been able to do a lot of things like this. I just wanted to, come to this prime point, which
Hmm.
is like, what is the ideal time to start getting clients, and not only get clients to earn at least like, six figures, or like as this freelance coaches claims, right? We can, just join my course and you can just start earning like six figures right after like 1 month or so. Like, because like I have had a lot of experience. Like if you take myself as an example, like it literally took me like 2.5 years. Like though it took me like 2.5 years, like I was able to like exactly figure out like what is freelancing, how to get into a particular niche. As I said, like though it is a lot of time, like I learned a lot of stuff. So like for me, if you take my example, it took me like kind of 2.5 years to exactly figure out like what it is. And for to other people like whom I have had a lot of talk with, like they said even they are facing a lot of issues. But like these freelance coaches are claiming that they people can start earning like six figures like right after like 1 month or like so. So like what do you think is the prime time? And I mean, like what do you think is the ideal time that people will be able to get clients and like kind of start earning like more money? Of course, like people will start earning money. Like when do you think is the time? What is your take on this?
I can't understand who gives a shit about you are making six figures or not until unless you are able to fulfill your needs and your family is satisfied. Who gives a shit? And initially, people think that if they are earning 15, 20,000, it's really bad. Man, you were at fucking zero the last month. I don't think that should be a problem if you are earning 20,000. And this is, I constantly keep on saying this thing, that from 20,000 to 80,000 or 1 lakh, it will not take you much time if you spend good amount of time investing in yourself and you understand how things work. The growth in freelancing is exponential. It's not like 20, 40, 60. It can be from 20 to a lakh straight up. You never know. It's completely different for every individual. See, all this stuff that you have said, it is completely subjective. I know people who got their client in first week. I know people who are still trying to find their first client after 3 months. That is completely subjective. But if there is one thing I would like to tell people, is that it is not easy as it is said on social media. Real shit is completely different. You don't know about the mental traumas and like, not traumas, the mental things that goes inside your head. On a psychological level, you have to be prepared for a lot of stuff that no one actually tells you. Everybody is like, you take my course, you do this, you follow this template, and everything will be sorted. They don't tell you that they are telling the exact same thing to 1,000 other people and everybody is following the same template. So when a herd follows the same template, you have no edge. So the only thing I would like to tell you is that it is not easy. Yeah, you cannot earn lakhs in the first few months if you are a complete beginner. Like, this is a completely different thing. A lot of academies market themselves like, our student earned $4,000 in the first month, but they don't tell that the student was already having a corporate experience of 5 plus years. What about that? And people don't know that, so then they feel inferior and all that shit. So that is the thing. This is by far the most biggest problem that we have.
Got it. Got
Yeah.
it. I think it's gonna be like really helpful for all those people like who are getting started into freelancing. Now I just wanted to move into your expertise, that's like Web3. So I just wanted to kind of get an understanding like how people should get into Web3. I mean, like if you look at Web3, people have been, it's actually fairly like very new technology. It is still being developed. Like most people are like not yet aware of the things that are happening around Web3. They don't understand the concept of Web3. I know, but some people are trying to get into Web3 just because there's a lot of money in it. I mean, like for the past 1 to 2 years, there's been a lot of money pouring into Web3, right? So people wanted to get into that. But at the end of the day, like we have to understand that Web3 is like, since it is like very new technology, it's like it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of expertise in
Mhm.
order for you to be able to educate other people to become a content writer or to become a coder in Web3. So like, what do you think about it?
See, I'll say it is not that easy that people tell, but once you understand how the whole thing works, it is fairly easy. So it's not that like, Web3 is a complete different niche. Here you have a lot of technicalities that you need to break down in order to make a layman Web2 audience understand what this whole thing is about. So until unless your basics aren't cleared, you can't, it's not like you can just read 5 6 articles and then come up with your own. It doesn't work that way. You have to have an extra advantage, or you can say edge, or something that the masses don't have. So Web3, I don't say it is that easy, but it is not that difficult as well. If you have the right guidance and you know how you have to do shit and what field you want to go into, whether it is about coding or you want to be a writer, a marketer, community manager, moderator, or all that stuff, you have to be clear about it first. But yeah, it is the fact that Web3 is not as saturated as other niches because it is fairly new. And there is a reason it is not that saturated, because it is not that easy. You need to invest a lot of time and a lot of technicality you need to understand.
So like the thing what I was telling is that like comparatively, like if you wanted to go start your freelancing like other niches, you name it, like the social media marketing, trying to build your Instagram page, like that is,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say that's like very easy. Even that takes time, that takes a lot of skill set, you have to do a lot of learnings. But comparatively, as you said, like Web3, there are a lot of technicalities. Actually, me even like it's not that I wanted to
Right.
get like deeply into Web3 as a freelancer, but like I just wanted to get
Yeah.
an understanding of like Web3, like how NFTs work and things like that. But for me, like it's literally been like over like 5 to 6 months that I'm trying to learn every day. Still I'm getting a lot of confusions. Like when I look at a post like in Web3 you get to own your data and things like that, like I get a lot of confusion, like what do they mean by like you own your data? Like I don't, still I don't understand this. So I would say, like as you said, there are like a lot of things that you should understand in order to you tell other people that yes, yes, like you can follow my
Yeah,
path and
and
like do these
that's
things.
where you have to be a smart consumer. That's what I say. You
Yeah.
have to consume your content smartly. What I see people doing is they will read half stuff from this website, half from that, half from that. Why? Like, every big exchange has their own blog section. big
Yes.
exchange, and there are big websites that have their own academies. Stick to one. Learn everything that you can. There are a lot of YouTube
A
channels
lot
that
of
will teach you all that shit for free. You don't need to
true,
invest any
true.
money. All you need is dedication and a little bit of hard work. Because
Got it.
once you understand how this whole thing works, it's really easy. Yeah,
Makes sense. So it's that, this all this basic that people have
so
to
that is the
understand,
thing.
and then they have, they can put these things out, right?
And people
So
don't want to actually understand the basics. That's the main problem with
exactly,
freelancers as
yeah.
well. No one wants the basic stuff. Everybody wants to be an intermediate or advanced in since day one. But the ones who
That's
focus on the basics, they are the ones who thrive.
exactly.
That's the thing.
It's obviously, again, I think that again falls down to this patience, right? Like people just wanted to get things like this, this instant gratification stuff. Like they don't have the patience to wait and get to that place.
Yeah, no one has it.
Yeah.
Like a very few have. Like I will not say not everyone has. Like
Mhm.
not many have it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no, now I just wanted to get into this technology stuff. I think, in the last, I think like for last 1 to 2 years, we've been hearing a lot about Web3. But since I think like last 3 to 4 months, we've been hearing a lot about AI. So like, can you tell me the impact of AI on Web3? Does it have any direct impact, or like, is it gonna indirectly at least like impact Web3? Like, is there any connections between these two tech? Because these two techs are like emerging, right? Even Web3 is like still emerging. AI is also emerging. So like, what do you
See, it
think
will
about the
have.
correlation?
It will have, and a lot of see. Particularly, I'm not that much fan of AI, but I can't
Mm-hmm.
even deny that its existence and the practicality and the use cases it has are fabulous.
Yeah.
So I'm not a particularly huge fan of AI, but you can't actually deny that that shit is not useful.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly talking about Web3 and AI, I think that there can be some good amount of potential in the upcoming future where you can integrate Web3 into AI and all that stuff. Like we have these smart contracts thing going on
Mm-hmm.
in Web3, so
Yeah.
I guess AI can really help in that.
Okay. So you
So
mean
what I
to say?
particularly feel is that AI will be a crucial part of the
Okay.
Web3 space.
So you mean to say like, as in, this
Yeah,
smart
like there will be
smart
some
con.
impact. Now I'm not sure whether it will be direct or indirect.
Mhm. Got it. Like, you mean to say like, as in, this smart contracts, like, people are like now creating
Yeah, so
smart
particularly
contracts
I was saying
using
that
this artificial intelligence, can help you to, build the smart contracts, right? Like,
yeah, it
what
can
do you
be
call the
automated,
smart?
I guess.
Mm-mm-mm. Got it.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
yeah,
But,
it can even, yeah,
it takes a
it
lot
can
of
help
time,
you
right?
build like. Mhm.
See, actually, when we talk about normal coding, of course, like people are like using, but recently there's been a lot of reports that state like they did a study on this OpenAI Chat GPT. Okay, like this automated code. So like what happens in the sense like the code whichever the Chat GPT generated, right? It was like incorrect, meaning it was not like completely
Mhm.
incorrect, but it was not like as like accurate as possible. So in that case, like smart contracts obviously
Mhm.
it has to have this actually there's no like decentralization. I mean, it's completely decentralization, right? So in that case it have to be like so good, right? It can there's like no
Right.
space for room. I mean, there shouldn't be any space for false things or like inaccurate things. So in that case it's gonna take a little more on a longer time to build this smart contracts, right? From AI, I mean.
Yeah, like AI is in the initial phase. You told me that it is there for the last 3 to 4 months only. So give it some time, and I hope, I'm sure that it will boom.
So it's actually like we've been
Yeah.
talking about this content creation part, and you was gonna tell about this importance of LinkedIn and Instagram, so you can talk about that.
No, I was saying that I'm not a big fan of saturation, and honestly, I think you can start on any platform that you are comfortable with.
Mm-mm.
It's not that Instagram is better than LinkedIn, LinkedIn is better than IG. There are people who can get traffic and revenue from any platform. You just need to know how. So any platform you are comfortable with, just go with it. Except Facebook,
Exactly.
everything else is fine. Twitter is also fine.
Mm-mm. It's
LinkedIn is
like
good, and IG is also good.
like
Completely
we
depends on you.
change this question from where to how, right? Like rather than going like where to post, and like it's not that question. It's like
Yeah,
how
you
to
should
make.
actually. Yeah, exactly. It should be more like how can I make more money rather than where should I go to make money. Choose one
Mm-mm.
platform, stick to it for 3 to 4 months, and see the magic.
Exactly. Got it. Makes sense. So this coming back to again, this
Exactly.
coming back to this content creation part. It's that how should freelancers actually position themselves when they're getting started out as a beginner. Like there are like few people who just try to what do they try to do is they try to start saying something. Actually they themselves wouldn't be doing that, or they don't have, as you say, like they don't have the solid proof with them. But in order to
Yeah,
get the results, people kind of
exactly.
post something what they wish, because as you said, like they're like no people are going to ask them, nor these platforms are not built in such a way to ban or like report those particular posts. It's like anyone can post like anything, right? So in that case, like how do
Yeah.
you think about it?
So, like, your question is how beginners should position themselves, or
Exactly.
what should I advise about the people who are positioning themselves as
No,
experts
no,
but
I
they
would
don't know
say that
shit?
how beginners should actually position themselves. They shouldn't actually look at those, big creators,
Just
say,
position the way you are.
mm-hmm,
Just position the way you are.
got
That's
it.
it. If you are a beginner, position yourself as a beginner. If you try to possess yourself as an expert, you are already losing a lot. If you are possessing, like, for example, say you are positioning yourself as an expert in some field that you are not an expert in, and
Mm-hmm,
I'm in that field, and I am actually the expert in it. So
got it.
if at some instance you and I have a collusion, think about the consequences.
Got it.
People like me will eat you. And that's what exactly these course sellers want people to be. You tell everybody to position themselves as an expert, but they don't know shit. You are just, they are living in that bubble that, okay, I'm an expert. You are not. Fake it until you make it doesn't works. It
So
works in
true.
some cases, but mostly it doesn't.
I
And
think
you are
that's
leaving a lot on the table if
exactly.
you are positioning yourself as an expert
You
in
said
the
this like
beginning.
fake it like until you make it. I think that's actually kind of this false thing. Chances that they might work, but in most of the cases we've
It
been like
is.
told a lie. Actually, we cannot
In
like
long run, it will not.
yeah, we cannot like always fake it until we make it. It's it's not going to work in like longer term, like as you said. And like moreover, whenever like me when I started
Right.
getting into this freelancing, this content creation, the first thing would be like position yourself as an expert, or like position yourself as if like you know something. It's like great, like as you say, like how can I position when I don't even know shit? Like it's not like like it's like a great thing. Like since I don't know, like how can I position myself like that? And in that case, like as an expert, you come to my place and you easily take away my eyeballs or like attraction, like whatever it is, right?
Exactly. Like, see, this is exactly what, like, if you remember, you have watched my course. There is a whole module about positioning yourself as a beginner. It's
True.
not about positioning
That's
yourself as an expert. I
that's
don't
true.
want people to position themselves as an expert. You need to be a beginner first, man. Expert, you have your whole life. No one is an expert. I say this thing all the time. Not even I'm an expert. Everybody's still
Exactly.
learning. Who
Everybody's
cares?
learning.
It's just we are on different levels of learning. Yeah,
Got it.
exactly.
So, Vaibhav, from the start of your this freelancing journey and this content creation, you've been always telling that there's like no wrong in following people. It's that like whom do you follow? Like you have to follow the right people, right? So, like when you like kind of
Yeah,
started out, like who was like your following thing? I mean, like who did you follow, or like did you just did everything on like like self
no
study and
one.
all? Like apart from self, like did you follow anyone? Like do you have anyone in mind?
See, it is about I never followed.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. No,
Okay.
never. I just follow what I was taught in my house, like the moral values and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have got this mentality passed on from my, like, it's in my genes. And
Okay.
the thing is, the people I have been hanging out with since the start of my journey, the start of my freelancing journey, we all had a very different mindset. Our thing is very simple. We do things that needs to be done, and it should help our clients. It's as simple as that. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care about what people think about me, if they think whether I'm successful or not. Until unless my clients are satisfied, I'm getting money on my
True.
table, everything is good for me. That's the
Yes.
only thing I focus on. And regarding this following and mentors, I'm not a big fan of it, because the kind of attitude I carry, the mindset I have with mentors, it has not been a good journey with me,
Mm-hmm.
actually, because
Mm-hmm.
I tend to take some steps that other people, they think a lot about it. I believe in execution, no matter if it backfires, but it was my call, so I'm responsible for
Exactly.
that. So no, I don't follow anyone.
Got it. So like it was like good that
Yeah,
you are not following, because like you've been taught like most of the things. But I would say like again, like as you've been telling, it's like very important that you should know like whom are you following exactly, like right. Like people can kind of
yeah,
sell, they can use your insecurities and they can start selling their things. It's that like whom are you following in this particular internet era, right? Because like everybody can
like
do anything. They have these
like
platforms. They
yeah,
can like start creating videos. They can start posting content. Like they can do everything. Like easily people can get fooled if they're not following the right people.
Right. See, if for me it was very clear since the beginning that
Hmm.
no one can enter into my head with some things that they claim and I don't have the proofs for it. If a person comes and say I have earned 1 crore this month, and if he shows it, I respect that person, I admire him, good for him, and okay, maybe I can learn a few things from you. If like 99%, 99.9% people, what they are doing is, I earned a crore, you ask for proof, no, you just have to believe us. Why? You are no god, so why would I believe in you? So you are just
True.
faking.
Got it. It's that.
But 99% people fall for this thing. That is the hard part. They don't know how to think this way, and I'm just telling them to think this way. And this, like, whatever thing I'm telling to people, you guys have no idea how big of a threat it is for these freelance gurus. It is giving them a good blow.
Exactly. Now, I'm like comfortable. I can, kind of ask you this question, I think. So, like, do you want to really like take out the name exactly, like, who has been trying to sell all these things in this show? Like, I am comfortable with it.
Why?
Because I'm comfortable with it. I think that, yes, like we
No,
are trying
even
to
I'm
start again.
comfortable with it,
Yeah.
but I don't see any. See, I'm trying to stand against the whole industry, and that the thing that everybody thinks that 101 shit that everybody thinks about, it's just a part of that thing. So there is no point going after one specific person. The thing is that I don't aim to bring anyone down. The only
Hmm.
thing is I want people to understand that everyone who says they are there to help you are not there to help you.
Got it. Makes sense. And moreover, in this recent times, the more I started learning, the more, actually I'm into content creation. So what I do is I kind of, try to think out of the box. I do a lot of research and all. So the one thing what I've learned like so far is
Hmm?
that since in this internet era, due to all this content creation, all this stuff, I would say like most of the things, whatever we believe, it's been manipulated. It's not the actual truth that we actually,
Yeah, it
kind
is.
of hear. It's like most of the things are like saturated. You take freelancing, you take investing, actually you name it anything. It's like, most of the things are like manipulated. People kind of find it hard to to look at the truth after like kind of losing many things, and that's when they kind of realize that okay, we've been like manipulated so long, and now is what like I'm trying to understand the truth, but it's like too late, right?
Yeah, that is the hard reality. And if you talk specifically about freelancing, everybody thinks it's easy. The 1%
Hmm.
people who think it is not easy, they are the real deals. But due to the peer pressure, they will think that they are somewhere lagging. The reality is you are not. You are doing
Exactly.
everything on the right pace. People are manipulative.
So true. And
Yeah.
actually so far I've been talking about others. Actually it's it's in my own case. As I told you, like I have like thought of doing this freelancing right after my high school. That that's right after my 12th. But to be frank, it kind of took me literally, like I'm not
Hmm.
trying to brag or anything. It literally took me like 2 to 2.5 years to exactly figure out what is freelancing, how to get into a particular niche, like what is the actually industry, like how to start earning money. That
Yeah.
legit way speaking about. It kind of took me like so long years, and that's what that's what even I tell my
Yeah. So
close
that's
friends and
that's
all. I kind of tell the same things to my close friends. I kind of tell them that
like.
yes, you can start freelancing, but for you can even crack your client
Mhm.
within just 1 week or 2 week or like 1 month. If not, it can even take you like 6 months. It's like
Highly
up to you.
subjective, as I said
Yeah,
earlier.
highly subjective. It's like highly subjective.
Exactly. And that's
And
fine. Like even the 2.5 hours horizon is good. It's not bad. Like people see that it took you 2.5 years. They don't see what you absorbed in those 2.5 years that will give
exactly,
you an edge now.
so true.
That is the thing.
Exactly, and that's when
This is
I would
what
say.
people, it goes unnoticed.
Exactly. And I would say in those 2.5 years, it's okay that, because sometimes I feel like I'm like very glad that I did not figure out for this 2 to 2.5 years. It's because like, since I did not figure out in those, in this particular time, I learned a lot of stuff actually. I mean, it's not only about freelancing. I learned about content creation.
Hmm.
I learned about personal branding. I
Hmm.
learned about all the opportunities that people we can use in this internet era and can start earning or like doing like the things that what we want to do. I started like learning everything. If I would have figured out like freelancing, maybe I would have stopped only in freelancing. I wouldn't have moved out of it. Like sometimes I kind of feel
Yeah,
that
high
okay, it
possibility.
was, yeah, it was like, I sometimes feel like it's good that I did not figure out, so that I was like trying to go out of the box and learned many other things as well.
See, things are going to unfold at the time they are supposed to. No matter what all you do, things will unfold at a time they are supposed to. So it's up
Exactly.
to you whether you want to spend the time wisely or you just want to keep blaming yourself for every other shit you see on social media.
By the way, I know actually it is kind of, I wouldn't say it's a kind of promotion because I really wanted to, I'm not a guy who tries to promote if I have not used that particular product. But to be frank, to all my people like who are going to watch this show once it is going to be out, I have taken Vaibhav Yadav's course actually. He has actually, since after the time he started standing against all these freelancers, he has actually come up with his own course. Now people might, can think that, he himself is like trying to, stand against these people. Like, why is he doing his course? Yes, people can have that doubt, but the truth is that one thing is that he has done it for free, but that's not the real case here. The other thing is that he has spoken about all the truth. I mean, he literally brutally told everything that's possible. I mean, that is going to happen if you wanted to start your career as a freelancer. That was like really mind blowing. And I'm like, I would say like, it's my thing that I wanted to share this with you. Even you can think it of as promotion as well, but I don't have problem with it because I have used it and I'm just telling my truth, my perception, my observation from, looking at this course. So if, my audience, like if you're watching, please do look at this course. It's completely free. You can just, access this course. And the best part is like, there are like, I think 350 plus enrollments without any promotion. So that's the catch over here because it is like so valuable.
Yeah,
People who have taken other courses also are coming to his course and they're telling that his your course is like so valuable. It's like, even there are like few people who have actually literally mentioned this in comments that his course is like much better. So now you can see like actually the things that are actually, trying to break down. So my people, like people, if you're like watching, please do look at his course. What
yeah,
do you
like
think about your course, Vaibhav? Like,
if you
do you
want
want to
to
share
like
anything?
see, Anish, first of all, thank you so much for the kind words that you just showered upon me. Like it
Mhm,
really felt good to hear that. And secondly, the thing is that if you want to access the course, it is available on the freelancematrix.com. We can add the link in the description or in
yeah,
the
I
comments.
can
That
do that.
won't be a problem.
Yes.
And the third thing would be regarding the course. It received the feedback that I expected it to, because
Mm-hmm.
when I created that course, I had done my market research.
Mm-hmm.
So I used literally, I have targeted all the pain points of the consumers and addressed them without
Mm-hmm.
charging them for it. And people are getting actually benefited from it. You can just hover over to my LinkedIn and see. I'm working on the website as well. Now, by the time this will go live, I guess it will be done.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. The experience of the course so far with users have been good. Didn't spend a dime in promotion, yet we have good signups, and I want to stay it, it to stay low key. Once it got mainstream, I have said it in the course itself. If this course goes mainstream, you need to find another one that is not mainstream, because the real deal are in the courses that are not mainstream.
Exactly. So when it is not in the mainstream, that's when, people kind of
Yeah,
know the value of it. Like they kind of understand like, the things that are actually present in it. But when it goes to the
exactly.
mainstream, it's like, kind of like fully saturated. It's like just
Hmm.
in above top floor. No one goes like deep down. It's like, just the tip of the, iceberg tip. It's like that only. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. So it's that. So like you
exactly.
have to watch. Exactly. So Vaibhav, again, it's not a personal
Hmm.
thing, but as you said, like you have taken a break from LinkedIn, and today, before actually coming to the show, I just saw your post. You said I don't exactly like how long you've been, inactive, but you just came back. So are you gonna stay like active and
A
kind of,
month.
promote? Not promote. I would say like, are you gonna kind of help all these freelancers, beginner freelancers, to break their insecurities and kind of, start doing the things? Are you gonna stay active? Because like from my personal
Yeah,
experience,
I'll be staying active.
yeah, from my personal experience, I would say like I really want your content to be shown on my feed. It's not that just because, we have friends or like, you came to my podcast show. It's not that I'm trying to, kind of, pamper you. It's not like that. It's because of the content that I kind of value. It's like, even if you ask me, I want always Gary Vee's content to be on my feed because I really love the way he does his work. I really love the way the value he is providing. So similar to that, I kind of, want your content also to be in my feed
Hmm.
because of the truth that you're trying to tell.
See, I'll be active on LinkedIn, that's for sure, but I'm not sure about my consistency, because see, I'm not there to get, I don't have any revenue stream from LinkedIn. My clients, I don't get them from LinkedIn. My whole client retention thing and, and signing new clients, that model is completely different. I
Mhm.
don't actually give a shit about LinkedIn. That's why it's so easy for me to go back and forth and, on and off on LinkedIn, because I got nothing on stake over there. That is the main thing. I don't care about the engagement metrics until unless people are getting to know the real shit. It's good with me. So I'll be staying around for a while, that's for sure. And the break was kind of strategic. I had to take it in order to get some people and show them their real place.
Wow. I thought, okay, even this like some very big thing that's going on
Yeah.
behind. That's great. So, Vaibhav, to conclude, what is your biggest learning so far in terms of freelancing, in terms of Web3, like, everything in your career journey, like so far? And the second part is that, like, what is the message, the real truth that you want to give to these people who are just getting started as a freelancer?
See, my biggest lesson would be to just believe that you can do this thing. I have seen people doing this thing a lot, that they are pumped up for a while. They do everything in the right manner for a month or two or three. You have to remind yourself time and time again that you got this. That is the one biggest learning I realized, because there is no point in sitting down. So I usually say this thing that, so you are in a bad phase, and then you are saying I want to take a break and stay in that bad phase. That's not how it works. You should try to get out of it.
Mhm.
And if you talk about one advice for beginners, it would be just initially don't chase money, because money is not going anywhere. But if you invest your time wisely in learning some good skills and sharpening your skills, you can really print, like I'm using this word, you can really print a lot of money
Got it.
with freelancing.
Got it.
So these are the two things. I am not a big fan of giving a lot of big lectures about what people should do. Everybody's free to go their own
Yeah.
way.
Got it, got it. So as of now, actually, this
Yeah.
session I specifically wanted to be about freelancing. I mean, about all those things that is happening that I wanted to, kind of shed
Hmm.
lights on. I'm like eagerly waiting for you to take your time in maybe in the near future to talk everything about like Web3, like how people can get into Web3, or like some breaking
Yeah.
down few technicalities that I would like really appreciate that. So this session, as I said, like I just want to purely keep it into this, freelancing. I just kind of want to break down few things. That's why I just did this thing. But in the near future, to all my audience, like if you are into Web3 niche, for sure I'm gonna bring Vaibhav again to my show, and I'm gonna make him to kind of break down all the things about Web3, like how you I know can also get into Web3 as a creator, like how can you have your like NFT collection and things like that. That session I think it's gonna be very long. So until then, it was like so great, brother. Thank you once again. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and coming to my show.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Thanks, Anish. And it was great talking to. I hope the people who are watching this got some good insights. And yeah, we can definitely connect for the Web3 one as well,
Yeah,
when we both are available, because the schedule of ours is a bit messy.
I know. True, true, true.
So yeah, and again, if you are somebody who is just starting out and you are looking to start your freelancing journey, but you don't have the money to invest, you just can access my course. It is absolutely free. There is no hidden agenda behind it. That's one thing I can assure you, and it is value packed.
Yeah,
So you can find the link in the description, and I'll
exactly
see you
that.
inside the modules then.
True,
And
true.
I'm sure you will not be disappointed.
Exactly. And the best part is that, if you look at all these people, they have this funnel strategy, right? They kind of sell you this workshop for like 450 rupees. And then like after getting to the, workshop, they kind of say that you have to spend
Yeah,
like thousands of rupees to get the full course. But to my audience, I'm telling you guys again, this is like completely free and you kind of get like A to Z. It's not like, you're going to get only like half part and then later you have to pay vibe of money. It's not like that.
yeah,
Yes, like solely created this to help out all the freelancers because like to be frank, actually, Vaibhav is not here to kind of make money through through selling courses because he's like really doing great in his freelancing journey. He's like fully satisfied. He's making his clients satisfied because of that he's getting paid.
yeah.
Like he doesn't have to do anything with this. He kind of thought that okay, this is what like I have learned. He wanted to give it to the audience. So that's why he has just created this course, and I'll kind of link down all the details that how you should get access to the course and all. I think it'll be like really valuable. But I'm like very sure, as Vaibhav said, you will never be disappointed by looking at the course.
And one more thing, there is no hidden agenda of Anish behind putting in the links or reference kind of shit. That is not how things are going on.
I
In
wouldn't say it's
case
kind of
any smart head is thinking about it.
obviously even actually me and Vaibhav are not working together. Is that I have I'm in his community. We kind of talk to each other about all
Yeah,
those insecurities things. So it's like me and Vaibhav are not working together. I'm not, by the way, like I'm not completely into Web3 as well. So I'm not gonna get anything from promoting Vaibhav's course or trying to talk good things about Vaibhav. It's that my
yeah,
sole intention is that like I've seen the truth. So I just wanted to kind of tell this out. So that's my whole intention, like as Vaibhav was trying to do to the community.
Yeah, that's great to hear, Anish. And yeah, thanks one again for your time, and let's stay in touch.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.